Welcome everyone to Backpass with Ras, and I'm your host Ras. How are you doing today? And I hope you're having a good time wherever you are and listening into this. If you're not sure what this show is all about, this show will be a show that focuses on football from the 90s and 2000s. We reminisce on the good old times where football was much better, I would say. The golden era, so to speak. So yeah, we've already had one episode. In episode 1, there has been some misses, some players we forgot to mention. If you're not sure what we're talking about, episode 1 focuses on magical playmakers. And there was some cardinal sins made by me. I missed out some players. So very quickly, going through some of these players. JJ Okocha from Nigeria, for me, the best African playmaker of all time, but still somehow it slipped my mind. And the two other players, I would say underrated players, Jari Litmanen, former Ajax, Liverpool, Finnish international, Gary McAllister, former Leeds, Liverpool, Coventry, Scotland international. They're worth a shout out, I would say, as playmakers. And there's also Xabi Alonso. When we're talking about the Spain's golden generation of midfielders, Xabi Alonso, it doesn't come any better than him in playing that deep line playmaker position. And I think he deserves a mention as well. And there's this one that's been pointed out by one of our listeners, Elvin Lodes, Juan Sebastian Veron. Okay, this guy, for me, is my favorite Argentine player of all time. But why didn't I mention him? It's because I saw him as a player that is the number 8 instead of the number 10 or the deep line playmaker. But as Elvin has pointed out to me, you can play him as a deep line playmaker. So valid point, Juan Sebastian Veron. Here we go. These are some of the mentions that we forgot on episode 1. If you're not sure, you want to listen back again to episode 1, feel free. Always, it's all there on our YouTube page. You can get the links on our Facebook page and Twitter page to episode 1. So now in episode 2, what we're going to cover, this is especially for Arsenal fans. Arsenal might not be having a very good time of it right now, but we're not talking about that. There are many shows that will cover that. We are reminiscing about Arsenal's glorious era, the Arsene Wenger era, the 97 to 2004 era. So with me on the show today, I've got two guests. One from across the border, Tun Muhamed Shahriman, representing Arsenal Malaysia. So Tun, apa khabar? How are you?
Yeah, I am great. It's a pleasure joining this show. And I hope we can discuss and put up some great points about the history, obviously, and we hope that later this history will repeat itself.
All right, that's good.
All right.
It's a pleasure having you, Tun. And from closer to home or closer to where I'm based right now, Singapore, official Arsenal Singapore Supporters Club representative Samir Rasheed. How are you doing, Samir?
Hi guys, I'm doing great. Pleasure to, like Tun mentioned, pleasure to be here, pleasure to share, and always have a love to talk about Arsenal. I'm sure you're right. I think you mentioned earlier, not the greatest of times, but I mean, once Arsenal, always Arsenal. So happy to reminisce about the old times especially, and hopefully, like Tun mentioned, we can see some of the glory days in the years ahead.
All right, yep. Good spirit, Samir. Nicely brought forward. Okay, Tun, which part of Malaysia are you from or based in right now?
Yeah, I'm currently in Putrajaya right now. Right, I work in Kuala Lumpur. I was born here, okay. And basically, I've been with Arsenal Malaysia for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what made you become an Arsenal fan? What attracted you to the Gunners?
All right. I've been an Arsenal fan since 1992. I went to London in 1992 when I was 14. And on that particular trip, an uncle of mine who was studying in London at that time. His house was in Finsbury Park, where nearby the Highbury Stadium. So he was an Arsenal fan. So he took me to my first Arsenal game in Highbury.
Mm-hmm.
It was against Wimbledon.
Oh, crazy gang.
1992, and we won 3-0 that day. And I've been a fan of Arsenal since then.
All right. Samir,
And
sorry, carry on, Tun.
and the greatest moment was, when I get to meet the Arsenal team arriving in Kuala Lumpur in 1999. That's the greatest moment.
Oh, that's
Right.
yeah. Thanks a lot for sharing your photos. I saw that. Thanks for allowing us to use it as well. I can see, the joy in your face in those photos as well. Yeah, and some big names you took photos with, stellar names that we're going to discuss later.
All right.
Yep.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
Samir, which part of Singapore are you based in?
Yep.
Small country, but yep.
Singapore is quite small.
Yeah.
So, small country. I am currently living in the northeast. So my place right now is near Hougang area.
Ah, okay.
So that's where I'm. That's where I'm living right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I suppose I'm based in Singapore for now. Yeah.
All right. And what made you
I
an
think your
Arsenal
other
fan?
question was I've been an Arsenal fan, I think since '96. As far as I can recall, I suppose it really just boiled down to my uncle. I think it's similar to what Tun said. Like my uncle is a huge Arsenal fan.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think most of us. I grew up in a football family, so I had one uncle who was a Chelsea fan, one uncle who is an Arsenal fan. My dad at that point in time was a Stoke City fan for all reasons, and then after it became Newcastle. But and I have another uncle who was a United fan, so it kind of covers all the bases. But I was always drawn something about Arsenal, something about watching I think Adams at that point, and Ian Wright was one of my huge favorites growing up. And funnily enough, this is a story I share whenever anyone asks me this question, is that basically my uncle, who was an Arsenal fan, asked me to pick 3 teams and he told me basically it's time for you to pick a team. I said sure, okay, fine. I listed out Liverpool, Newcastle, and Arsenal. Okay. And then he basically wrote the names and asked me to draw lots. So I picked a card. He opened up and said, "Okay, you pick Arsenal." I didn't even check. I said, "Okay, great. I'm gonna be Arsenal fans from there." And then I never looked back.
You could have rigged it.
I'm pretty sure he might have, but you know what? No regrets. I love this club through and through, and I will continue to love this club moving forward. But yeah, that's how I kind of started. But then obviously players like Adam, Ian Wright, Burkham, all that kind of solidified my love for this club.
All right, great spirit there from the Arsenal fans here. So we know why they support Arsenal. Now moving on, we'll start with segment 1. And in segment 1, I will like to get Tun's opinion and memories, in fact, of the days before Arsene Wenger. So I know you've been a supporter since 1992, so probably you have more memories than Samir on this topic. So could you just share what it was like supporting Arsenal in those days, in the pre-Arsene Wenger days? What was it like? What was Arsenal like in those days?
All right. Basically, I was pretty much very young. I was 14 when I started with supporting Arsenal. So basically, I didn't really focus on the art of the game itself. But looking at Arsenal at that time, with the likes of Ian Wright and Alan Smith.
Yeah, Alan Smith. Yeah.
They were under George Graham at the time. So basically, it's something. Their game is a little different than compared to Liverpool or Manchester United at that time. So even though at that particular time Manchester United was the dominant team, but their gameplay and the spirit of the game the likes of Adams, Winterburn, Keown, and my playing idol, David Seaman.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I'm a goalkeeper.
Okay.
So basically, that's what caught my heart towards Arsenal. And obviously, because I was there witnessing them playing in Highbury, is also a part of it. If that time my uncle took me to a Manchester game or a Chelsea game, I might be a fan of them. But again in 1996, my second time in Highbury, and it didn't change my heart. I was in London for 3 months. I had the opportunity to go see Chelsea. Had the opportunity to go see Spurs, but no, I couldn't do that. Arsenal was already in my heart. So basically, it's the art of the game that I love with Arsenal. Yeah.
All right. I've got some memories as well from those days. I remember 92-93, you won the FA Cup and League Cup against Sheffield Wednesday. Both finals against Sheffield Wednesday. Winning the Cup Winners' Cup against Parma. That for me was a shock because I know how good that Parma team was, being an Italian supporter, Italian football fan. And, that one you won, 93-94, remains to be your only European trophy.
European trophy, yes.
Yeah. Who was the scorer in that game? Was it Alan Smith?
Yeah, it was Alan Smith.
Yeah, and for those who don't know who Alan Smith is, he's one of the commentators right now in Champions League matches, I think. You missed that, right, guys? Champions League.
Yeah.
I really missed it.
Yeah.
I think he's also a commentator in FIFA, right? He's a regular FIFA commentator.
I'm not sure. I don't play the game, so not sure. Could be. And something not too pleasant for you, Tun. Remember Naeem's lob of David Seaman, 94-95, Cup Winners' Cup final.
Yeah. That was really an unfortunate game.
Yeah, so these are some memories I have. And the players like you have mentioned, I think there's some others like Paul Merson, Steve Bowl, Ray Parler was there. I think Andres Limpa, Jon Jensen.
Yeah, we had also David Platt.
Jon
Jensen.
Yeah, Jon Jensen. Stephen Schwartz, I think it was. The late David Rocastle.
Yeah, David Rocastle.
Kevin Campbell.
Yep.
Yeah, so just reeling off some names.
Yeah, basically that was before Arsenal bring in the better part of the Arsenal game. So it was pretty much a classic English team back then. Before
1-0 to the Arsenal, I remember, right? Offside.
But yeah.
So basically, it was really a classic Arsenal, English football club game before Arsene Wenger. So and when I was only 14, and looking at those games, watching those games, not live, of course, at that time.
I understand.
We had to watch the highlights and so on TV. But they really grabbed my heart with their art.
Okay. All right. Okay, moving on. You've talked a bit about Arsene Wenger. So now segment 2, we'll look at Arsene Wenger and the 97-98 season. So this will be for both of you. On to segment 2. Okay, guys, segment 2 now. First of all, Samir, you've been quiet. We've not had a question for you yet. So now I'm going to ask you this question. What you thought of Wenger when he joined the club? Because you see, for me, when he joined the club, I looked at this guy and say, wow, this guy's first name is quite similar to the club's name. That's quite rare. And then you see he's coached in Japan. And in those days, we didn't have too much internet. So we did not know that he was with Monaco and nurturing some talented youngsters in the Monaco team. So not much I knew about Arsene Wenger. What do you know about Arsene Wenger when he joined the club?
To be honest, not much as well. I think I was quite young back then, and I didn't know enough. Or I haven't watched enough football at that stage yet to really make to form an objective opinion about managers and whatnot. Like when I joined, for me, when the manager came in, I was like, oh, okay, Arsene Wenger, you're right. I same thing to me as like, oh, this guy has same name as Arsenal. Maybe that was a great match. But I did read that he came from Japan. And I was like thinking, okay. This guy came from Japan. Is he good enough for our league? Is he good enough to help us compete with the United and the Liverpools and all that stuff? But I didn't form too much. I mean, for me at that stage, I think it was more about the players. And as long as at that point in time, my favorite players, I mean, were still kept in the squad, I was happy. So I didn't have too much of an opinion on Wenger came in. But of course, after he's come in his first season, he won us the double, and I think the rest is history, as they say. And after that, then after there was no questioning his credentials, at least for that first 5-10 years. After that, we'll come to that again. Yeah.
After that, we're not going to even discuss it.
Okay. Yeah.
We're only talking about the pleasant parts here.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Tun, is that the same for you? You thought you didn't know much about him, Wenger, when he joined?
Yeah, obviously, we don't really know much about Wenger, and actually, the previous manager Bruce Rioch, he was not that bad, basically. But when Wenger came and he made this big shuffle and started to bring in French players, different style of non-English players. So it's part of the building of a team. So and he made to success quite quickly, and I'm sure maybe most probably because their style of playing shocked the other teams in English league. So maybe that's the part where they surprise the English league with their game.
Okay.
And thanks to Arsene Wenger.
All right. On the topic of, you talk about signings that were brought in. What do you make of the first signings he made? Players like Anelka, Vieira, Petit, Overmars. Do you know much about these players when they joined? I only knew about Overmars.
Because I'm sure they need. He knew about Petit because Petit was from Monaco, and also he also brought in Grimandi.
Yeah, Grimandi.
So basically, I love the likes of Overmars because of his speed. It's if you look at how they play, is they play with the flow. That flow is very hard to get a team to have that kind of flow in a very short period. So I guess when he brought in those players who he knows that can work this out. So I guess it's a good bet for Arsenal at that time.
All right, Samir, you spoke about players that he kept that were your favorites. Who were these players?
For me, at that point in time, the back five actually. That for me that was a solid, and I still mentioned that he's a goalkeeper. I do play. I think I do play goalkeeper now. But back then, when I was a bit more fitter, I used to play in centre back, and that was heavily inspired by Tony Adams. Mr. Arsenal himself. So the back four for me was solidified. The fact that it was so difficult to break us down. and you always know that as long as you score, we were going to win because they won't be able to score against us. I think that confidence that they gave us at the back was really good. And then, I mean, just watching Ian Wright score and doing up that front, I think that was great. Ray Parler on the right, obviously, as well. And then, I mean, I think that was all great. But to your point about Wenger's first signings, I think the fact that he signed those players who were relatively unknown, as you point out, and then these names, your Vieiras, obviously Henry, Pires, all that later on, all became like huge mega superstars, which were eventually sought after by folk. I think just showed how he was sort of like a genius in every time. I think he had a point to prove when he first joined us, and he definitely proved all his doubters wrong, and he basically made Arsenal a competitive team. And I think I can't speak much for before Wenger's time, because I didn't watch too much of their games. Obviously, I've heard of George Graham, I've heard of Bruce Rioch, but I think when Wenger came to Arsenal, he made Arsenal competitive, and for the longest time, right? I mean, Liverpool had already dropped out of the running by then. It was Arsenal and United for the longest time. It was just these two clubs fighting for the title every league for a good decade, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, the Wenger versus Sir Alex show.
Yeah.
And that at least he put us in that position, and that's something we will always be grateful for, because especially for me growing up and loving football, having a team that was there in about every year, just, you know, you had that competitive spirit, and it was great and fun to watch. And the way he turned the whole club around, like previously it was the 1-0 to the Arsenal. I think there was a song, and after that it was the flair, the attacking football. I think Tun mentioned the different style that he brought to the English game. And he just made Arsenal a very attractive team to watch. I mean, I might get a bit, I don't want to say it, but if I'm being objective, if you watch Liverpool play now, they kind of reminds you of when Arsenal was playing back then.
Okay.
Free-flowing attacking football.
The flow, yes, the flow.
Yeah.
All right. A simple yes or no question. Both of you, when the season started, did you foresee Arsenal having the success they would go on to have at the end of the season? Tun?
Again, can you repeat that again?
When the season started, 97-98, did you foresee Arsenal having the success that they would go on to have at the end of the season? Yes or no?
No, not really.
Samir? No.
Same, no.
Yeah, okay, thought so. Neither did I. Neither did I. I'm a Manchester United fan when it comes to English football. So, you know, at that point of time, Manchester United, as you know, they're a dominant side in English football. And we've had scuffles with Blackburn Rovers. And I think the seasons before that, we had Newcastle and Liverpool as our closest rivals. So I did not foresee this at all from Arsenal. So moving on, the next question, I think this is quite an interesting one. Samir, what do you think was the turning point in that season where you felt maybe this is the season for Arsenal?
I'm going to be honest, I can't except for the win at the end of the season, I can't remember too much that happened on the honor of the going season. But I mean, you know that when you were on that winning streak, right, and you keep winning games after games, I think after a while, especially after Christmas, and when you were there about, I think that belief started to form. Okay. And then you know that you could go on and win it. And then you could also see it from the players, like something that you don't see from today's batch, but the players there wanted it. I mean, Wenger was there, he was new, right? I'm sure he was great, but the players there wanted it. They wanted to win, they wanted to push it. And when you see them giving their all there, every match, 120%, whether they were tired, shagged and whatnot. And then when we were there and the winning streak, I think at that point in time, that's when I realized, you know what, this could be a fantastic season for us. And true enough, like I didn't think we would get the double. I thought the league was there, but when we won both, it was like, wow.
All right.
Because, you know, we only won by 1 point. With Manchester, and you know, the one draw made the difference. One draw made the difference between, you know, the champions and the runners-up. So basically, I was not expecting, you know, Arsenal to be the champions during that season. But you know, the consistency of their games at that time was remarkable, and their game flow was, you know, great to watch.
Okay. Tun,
yeah.
let me just cut you off here for a while. Let me ask you this question. Were the two wins over Manchester United wins that gave the team belief that they could do it? 3-2 at Highbury and 1-0 at Old Trafford.
Yes, of course. At that time, beating Manchester United was, the best achievement because, for the past, 3-4 years, they were the top contender for every season. So basically, having that victory, both victories, it made the difference. Yeah, it made the difference.
Yeah, I remember as well. United were leading the league that season, and then we started getting injuries, and important players start falling out because of injuries. And that was also the first season post Eric Cantona as well. So that had a bit of an effect on the squad and the team at that time. And Arsenal were just steamrolling. There was no way they were going to stop. The way they were going, they caught us up, overtake us, and then that's it. No way anybody could have beaten Arsenal that season.
Yeah, but basically, it was only 1 point because at that time the second runner up was Liverpool. It was a huge gap. They were 65, and Arsenal and Manchester was 78 and 77. So basically, these two clubs was the only clubs that were at the top for the next 5 or 6 seasons.
True. All right, so we've covered 97-98 now, Arsenal winning the double. A quick trivia question to you guys. Was that the first ever double for Arsenal?
Yes, I think.
I'm not sure.
I think definitely Wenger's first double because his first season.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I think it's Arsenal's first double as well. But it's a good one. I need to Google this.
Okay. I don't believe so. I think they did win a double before, or probably not. I guess this is their first double. I'm guessing. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I wouldn't know. That's why I asked you guys.
I'm looking at Wenger's history now, but I'm not sure about the Arsenal.
No.
Anything the internet tells you.
Still trying to find. Actually, no. In 66, it's 66, 76. Or I think in the 60s there was a double, but maybe a different. Yeah, I don't think it was Arsenal's first double.
Okay. So, whoever is listening in here, let us know. Was that Arsenal's first double, 97-98? Let us know. Get in touch with us and let us know, was that the first double ever? So, we're done with segment 2. We've covered 97-98. Moving on now. Segment 3 is where we're going to talk about the Invincibles, the team that won the Golden Premier League trophy. Invincibles. Coming up, segment 3.
It's a dream double for Arsenal. The champions have won the FA Cup, and Arsene's Academy has come up with the right answers again. A double, of course, the class of 98 on a par now with the Highbury heroes of 27 years ago.
All right, guys, segment 3. You guys pumped up? Going to talk about the Invincibles. Probably better memories, fresher memories for you guys. The Invincibles. But let me tell you a bit more. Let me tell the listeners a bit more on the seasons, the interluding seasons from 97-98 to this one, 2003-2004. Manchester United and Arsenal, you've both have mentioned, have had epic battles. And it didn't come more epic than that 98-99 season. It could have been Arsenal's second double that season, right? Yeah. But luck was on our side. We won the treble.
I wouldn't say luck. Well, maybe he could have gone. I mean, that semi-final.
He could have gone anywhere. You look at that. That semi-final. Had Bergkamp scored that penalty, that's it. We lost. We wouldn't have won the treble.
And it wasn't a poor penalty. It was just a great save.
Yeah, it's great.
You know what I mean? True. And obviously, but the Giggs solo run, I mean, it will forever be a scar in my memory. It's but if it was just such a beautiful semi-final. Like I never seen a more intense and competitive FA Cup semi-final since then.
Even the first one where it was
leg,
drawn 0-0.
exactly.
Even that
Correct.
was very, very intense. It wasn't a
Correct.
It wasn't a ball draw. It wasn't a tactical game or whatever. Both
It
teams were
was
going
good.
at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's really a heartbreaking game.
exactly when Anelka scored, I thought that was it, and then it was ruled out, and then I was jumping out. I can't remember where I was, but I was jumping, celebrating already. I thought it was it, and then the referee ruled it out, and then it's like, oh man, suddenly you're back to biting your nails. But the geek solo run,
I was 15 years old at that time when Phil Neville gave that penalty away. I was like, oh my god, that's it. And then Schmeichel saved it. Oh
wow.
Huge sigh of relief, and then that Giggs goal. That was crazy. So it was nice going to school in that a few hours later, and we were springing your steps there. And then, moving on from 98, 99, you had 2 seasons where Arsenal were distant runners-up, 99-2000 and 2000-2001. So those were 2 seasons where Arsenal were distant runners-up. And then you won the double again, 2001-2002.
Yep.
Right? You beat us at Old Trafford to secure your league title. That hurt.
Yes.
So
that the Wiltord, the famous Wiltord.
Not only that Wiltord goal, it was also, I also remember, was it Kanu jumping over Wiltord for that celebration? Oh my God. That hurt me. That one hurt me.
Yeah. Good.
So
actually, that gold color Sega jersey is one of my favorite ones actually.
Do you have it?
I don't have that one. I have the yellow one, the one with Kanu on my back. Like Sega was Emirates not too bad, but for me Sega and was one of my favorite sponsored jerseys. That I don't just look cool.
All right, then from 2001 2002 2003 you lost the league again to us. That one you were leading, this one you were leading, and we
slipped.
We clawed back and we won that.
Also, if I'm not wrong, wasn't too far off, right? Was it a couple of points, I think?
Yeah, it wasn't too far off, of course. I think you guys lost to, was it Leeds United? You lost to at Highbury to seal that title for us.
Yeah, it might have been. I can't recall, but I know we were leading. We leading, and we had. I don't know if you can remember.
Because we those the seasons from 98 to 2005, everything was so much similar every season. So the running up and down of the top and the second the runners up, it keeps changing. And basically, sometimes sometimes I do forget which season was that particular event, because the whole 98 until 2005, it was basically
very similar.
Manchester United and Arsenal, the only two at the top.
Mm.
But actually, 2001, 2002, I think United were third. Liverpool was second. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just Googling it. Arsenal had 87 points that season. United was 10 points behind.
Yeah.
The one the 02-03, there was when I think you beat us by 5 points. But the third place was Newcastle, and they were
miles away.
Miles away.
All right. So now a question for you guys. This is just a very simple one. Going into the 2003-2004, how confident were you? What were your sentiments on that season? Very confident, fairly confident, or neutral that you're going to win it this season?
Interesting. I would say fairly confident. Not fairly confident. I would say neutral confident. I think that we narrowly lost it last year, and I think I knew the team had a point to prove, and that they would come back, and we would. I knew we would be in the running again that season with that squad. But at the start of the season, it would have been too bullish, or I don't know. It would have been too to say that we would definitely have won it. But definitely was confident for sure that we were going to be there or thereabouts. Yeah.
Okay. Yourself, Tun?
Yeah. For me, I was not a fan of Sol Campbell at that time. Basically,
Was it because of his first pass?
Yeah, mostly because of that.
Okay.
But basically, I don't really love the way he conducts the defense at that time. But then, with the support of the great midfielders, the Vieira was there, and the strike force that we had. So it doesn't actually give the idea that we could achieve that status of the invincible. But with the consistency and the effort every game, it gives us that title that year. Basically.
Yeah, but going into the season, I guess you were neutral. You were thinking maybe you could win. Your sentiments were probably similar to Samir.
Yeah. I would say that I was not really looking at Arsenal being the champions with that kind of performance that season.
Okay, when you're talking about Invincibles and that unbeaten run that they went on, how crucial was Ruud van Nistelrooy's miss at Old Trafford? Had he scored, you wouldn't be Invincibles.
No.
But you might have won the title, but still not the Invincibles.
Yeah, of course we would have won the title because we had 90 points.
90 points.
Yeah, 90 points, and and Chelsea was quite far away. Being with that miss by Nistelrooy, gave us the title Invincible.
Okay, your sentiments at that moment when he missed the penalty, would you feel okay? Well done, justice served right,
Yeah.
Do you feel like
that? Yeah, I was actually a big hater of Nistelrooy. Yeah.
Same. I mean, if I'm putting my heart on my sleeve and emotions, I absolutely hated Van Nistelrooy. Like he, for me, and I was like, for me, he was everything you did not want in a player, because he was a dirty player, he was a cheat, he was a diver, he was all that, and I would call him all of that, right? But especially at that point in time, because we were so in the heated, and that game was so, I remember, so heated. The way he won that penalty, the way he got Vieira sent off, I think that was just, first of all, I mean, it wasn't a penalty, right? I can look at the highlights again. I don't think it was a penalty. A ref was BS.
It's Old Trafford, bro.
Yeah, but and then I don't know, but when he missed that penalty, I think that penalty miss pushed us to win the league even more. I think that just incentivized us a bit more to go. I think that at that point in time, whether we were going to go unbeaten and not staged, not sure. But that penalty miss was a crucial turning point, because I think psychologically United also got defeated, and Arsenal got boosted, and I think then is when the gap started to get. But that was a crucial penalty, and I was like, okay, at that point in time, I felt like the players when they were all after Nistelrooy at the end of the game, and I wish I was there, wanted to give him a bit of a right hook as well. But looking back now, and I want to be. Every fan is emotional, but objectively, if you ask me, would I put Nistelrooy on the list of one of the greatest strikers that play in the Premier League? I would have to say yes, because as a fox in the box, I think he was brilliant. As a number 10 striker, as a number 9, I think he was one of the good players. But at that point in time, because of that hatred for United, and he was one of the faces there. You know what I mean? I wanted to put two sides of the coin.
I would say he was always at the right time at the right place.
The right place,
all the time. Basically, that's why I hate him, because he keeps breaking other teams' heart with his goal.
In Malay, you say curi ayam.
Not really, because I don't know, maybe God put him there at the right place at the right time every time.
Yeah, that's the reading of the game. He can read it well.
Yeah,
he read it very, very well. And
Yeah.
I mean, if we look back, right? So if you don't mind, I digress a little bit.
Okay.
Like when I have chats with my friends about strikers today, like honestly, after Renil Stroy, there hasn't really been a striker in today's game. You don't have a number 9 like he was, like Shearer,
Yeah.
Sheringham, your
Yeah.
Ian Wright.
Sheringham's a number 10.
Sorry, yeah, but your
I get what you mean.
yeah, but those kind of strikers don't exist in today's game.
True.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. If you listen to episode 1, not only does those kind of strikers not exist, the number 10s don't exist anymore, those playmakers. So that's
Those
what we were
types, so, yeah.
discussing in our episode
Yeah.
1. You know, so
Yeah.
all these magical playmakers all gone out of the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tun, what were the memorable games in that season, 2003, 2004? Which games you felt, oh, this was unforgettable, you know, or very crucial in that Invincibles run? Because if he had gone a little bit left or right, you would have lost that game.
Yeah, obviously the Manchester game, and also the game against Chelsea,
Yeah.
because they were the runners up, and losing to them could change the course of the league itself. So basically, both the closest rivals back then was Chelsea and Manchester United.
Yeah. Samir, do you remember much of that Chelsea game? Was it played at Stamford Bridge?
I don't really
Oh
look
yeah.
at other teams.
Sorry, Tun, what were you saying earlier? We didn't catch you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Basically, during those seasons, there were no other teams except the top 4 teams. For me.
Yeah, the Big Four.
In the league, the Big 4 is always there. The rest would be, a sure win game for the Big 4. That's why none other games that really mattered other than against these Big 4.
Okay. Samir, I was asking you about that game against Chelsea. What were your memories of that? I think it was played at Stamford Bridge. Was that right, Tun? The memorable one you were speaking about. I think Chelsea took the lead, and then was it 2-0 or 1-0 or something, and then Arsenal came back.
Yeah, it was. They were leading 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah,
there you got it.
And I don't remember who scored that game. Do you remember, Samir?
I'm trying to check. I can't recall actually. Sorry, my mind's gone a bit blank. I'm trying to think of the one.
Don't think too much of today's Arsenal. Come on.
Yeah.
Clear that out.
Let me.
The one at I was just googling it. The one at Stamford Bridge we won 2-1.
Yeah.
I think Johnson scored first in the first minute.
Our home game also we won 2-1.
Home game also we won 2-1. You're right.
Yeah.
So Johnson scored first, and then Vieira and Edu scored in the first half, and I think it was just a tough game after that. But the home game also we won 2-1. I don't think we were down to. Are you the one we were down 2-0 and we came back? That might not have been that season. Are you talking about the Kanu one?
Oh, that one I know that one's the Kanu one. That one probably 98, 99 or something like that.
Correct.
I remember the jersey.
Yeah, correct. But yeah, cause I think both Chelsea games we lost. If you ask me what was, I suppose, memorable about that game, about that season, I think obviously the Neil Stroy penalty miss when he hit the bar. I mean, I think that was the turning point. The other one that really kind of stuck out for me was the Spurs game away
The draw.
The draw, the 2-2, because
2-2 draw.
at that point in time we had already won the league, and then we were going to go for the Invincibles game. And I remember that game we were leading 2-0 up.
Yeah.
We were leading 2-0 up, and then after that we screwed up in the second half. And then that Robbie Keane, that last minute penalty, right? When Lehman gave away that penalty, and I was like, oh my god, what has he done? And then obviously Robbie Keane scored. And I remember that game for two things, because if you recall, Henry has come out and done some articles at that time about how Robbie Keane was celebrating, jumping for joy, and like, you know, doing his annoying gun things.
Yeah.
And then he was just basically in the face of our players, right, saying, you didn't win our ground. And then I think I remember Henry's replying saying, you know, we only need 1 point to win the title, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it here at your home ground. And then that's when we lifted the title. So for me, that was like lifting the title at Spurs at White Hart Lane. To me, that was the highlight of that. And I also felt a bit sorry for him, because I know he left the pitch because he was so upset that he almost lost the Invincible the record. Yeah. And then the players had to go and pull him back up because they were all celebrating the win and like having to look at the big picture. So it was nice because obviously we won at White Hart Lane, but also the spirit of the team back then, I think was just like a different level.
Okay, guys, one question for you guys. We'll start with Tun. What's the difference in the playing style from the 97-98 team and the 2003-2004 team?
I think it's not that much difference, except that Henry was more mature strike force at that time. And
he was at his prime.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I think that made the difference. With the free flowing game and the quick pace of the players, there's not much difference between those two teams. But with the peak of the strike force, then that's what I think made the difference. But still, because I was not really keen of the back four at that time. That's maybe that made me felt that they are not the most capable team at that time.
Okay.
I think for me the biggest difference was I think a couple of things: the defense and the attack. The 97-98 team, you had your back five, right? English back five.
Yeah.
And I think we won based on that defense.
The familiarity of that.
Exactly, and a bit of that new attacking flair that Wenger brought into his first season, obviously with Anelka and those signings. I think the key thing about 03-04, I think the defense was different, but the fact that the defense gelled together and came out I think what was different about 03-04 was the attack. And you mentioned Henry in his prime, but I think for me the player that single-handedly won us the league this season is Pires. Robert Pires was the player that really carried our team. Obviously, the whole team was great, right? We had, the defense was new, but the way they came together was great. We had Vieira, we had Gilberto, in the middle, which was like basically your
grounding.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had Pires, Bergkamp, Henry up front. Ljungberg, exactly. Ljungberg, you had Reyes, and those players and Paulo, who was just rotating back and forth. Yeah. But you had a defense that came together and proved its worth. You had a great goalkeeper, though he was sporadic and had his moments.
Mental.
Yeah, exactly. But he was there, I think. And then the attack. So for me, if you ask me the key difference, 97-98, we had a defensive base to build on. 03-04, we were just blowing teams away with that attack force that they couldn't compete.
Yeah, you know why I feel they couldn't compete? It's because you guys were the first to use inverted wingers. So Pires
Ljungberg
these
keep
guys,
stopping, yeah.
they were not really your out and out wingers that, like United had with Beckham and Giggs and,
Yeah.
Kanchelskis and all these guys that we had previously. So
Yeah.
you guys were using these guys. These guys were not just sticking to the wings, they were cutting in from the sides in. So they were always in the box, and then that's how, that's why they scored quite a number of goals as well. And then Henry would go out to the wing, and then you have overlapping fullbacks. And then Beckham, the playmaker.
Basically, we had the most number of scorers. We had the most number of scorers for that season.
Yeah, there's a lot of overload when you attack.
Exactly, and you could just come in. I know there was, I can't remember, was Harry Kewell in the league before Pires or whatnot. There was a lot of flack when Kewell, who was a left-hander, was played out right at Liverpool, and then because he was trying to do that cut in and then use his left leg to cross, and then I think Pires obviously perfected that because he's a right legger playing out left, and he would cut in and do that curl. And you're right, the overlappingness, it was different. It wasn't your typical winger, but the overload of attack was just was what got us through.
Yep. All right. So nicely summed up. Beautiful memories, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah. Really hope that we would have those kind of teams or those kind of gameplay again. Those type of players again. I do hope that Arteta would bring something back again. The wonderful years of Arsene Wenger, or the wonderful ways of Arsene Wenger, or the wonderful ways of Arsenal playing again. With the urgency, with the flow. I've always wanted to see that again in Arsenal.
All right, guys. Good luck with that. My team's struggling as well. We're in the same boat. We were once top of the pops, and now we are struggling, both of us.
Yeah, I guess this season, or every team has up and down due to this, with
the COVID,
injuries and everything, and with the jam-packed schedule. So I think it affected every team. All right, basically those who can be really consistent will be the
champion.
Come up champion later.
All right, guys. With that, we end segment 3. And in segment 4, we will be getting your best 11 from 97 to 2004. Tough task, but you got to do it. Here we go.
Make a note of the date. May the 15th, 2004. History has been made. One of the greatest achievements since English football began. Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing. The first time it's happened for over 100 years. Played 38, won 26, drawn 12, lost exactly none.
All right.
Okay, guys. Segment 4. Are you guys ready? Best 11. Arsene Wenger's best 11. Or you could say your favorite 11 from that era of success under Arsene Wenger, 97 to 2004. Tun, who you got in goal? We go this way. We go by position.
Obviously, Seaman.
Okay, Samir?
I went with David Seaman as well, but I mean, it was, it wasn't for me. It wasn't as straightforward as I thought it would be. I think I was just thinking about it, but I went with David Seaman in the end.
Okay, your second choice was probably Alex Menninger, I think.
No.
No, you always be Lehmann.
Yeah, always be Lehmann. But I did actually. I like Alex Menninger. I think he did play well. Yeah, I don't think he got a decent enough run in the team, but I thought he played well. And I mean, all of our other goalkeepers, I don't think we've had a really horrible goalkeeper. I mean, Almunia had his moments, but he also did great. He also had great performances. You know what I mean? And I'm now starting to think, did we, regretting, did we let Chesney go too early?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's doing well at Juventus.
He's doing fantastic. I mean, if he can replace Buffon, he easily could have been our Arsenal number one. He was doing well, but yeah. Anyway, let's not.
Okay,
about that.
by
Yes,
the way, I
Seaman.
forgot to ask, what formation are you going with, Samir and Tun?
You go ahead, Tun.
I'm going for 4-3-3.
Okay.
Okay.
Samir?
I was thinking of 4-3-3, but there were a few players I couldn't. So in the end, I went with a classic 4-4-2.
All
But
right.
the midfield four can rotate between a diamond or a flat floor.
Okay, cool. Okay, now right back, Samir, right back, who you got?
Right back, it was again a tough one. I thought a bit about it, but for me, I think the strongest name that comes to mind under that pair was Lauren.
Okay, Tun,
I'll go for Winterburn.
Winterburn at right back.
Sorry, was it
Winterman's left back.
Dixon.
Yeah, sorry. Dixon.
Okay.
Winterburn, right.
Okay.
All right, centre back pairing, Samir.
I think this was, for me, it was quite straightforward. This one would be Adams and Campbell.
Yep,
Okay.
same.
Tun, Campbell.
Yeah, same.
You're going for Campbell.
Like I said, I was not really confident of Campbell, at that time, at that moment. But at the end of the season, he proves his
worth.
Yep. So yeah. So
All right,
I would say, yeah, because if I were to put Keown in the middle, it would be a little horrible because he was a badass.
Oh yeah, I know.
He was a badass.
I know. Okay, Tun, left back, Winterburn or Ashley Cole?
I would say Cole. Yeah, I would say Cole.
Oh,
Samir,
I hate this guy.
Cashley Cole.
Yeah, Cashley Cole. I mean, I like Winterburn, but if I want a solid left back, I can't shy away from Cashley Cole.
Oh, nice, sweet. Tun,
Yep.
your midfield three. So yeah, I think you just name your midfield three.
Would be Vieira.
Mm-hmm. Vieira in the center of that three.
Yep.
Okay.
Vieira, Perez, and Vieira, Perez, and Gilberto. Yeah.
Gilberto. Okay, how's that going to work out? Gilberto where? On the right side, left side?
Actually, Vieira would be in the middle, and Perez on the right.
Okay.
And Gilberto on the left.
All right, cool. Interesting. Samir, your
midfield? So my midfield four, again, this midfield can work as a flat four or a diamond. Defensive mid, I got Vieira. Okay. And then if it's a flat four, the other center mid would be Fabregas.
Oh.
Or if it's a diamond, attacking mid would be him. It's my number 10.
But did he play in that 2003, 2004?
He was in the squad in 2003. I don't think he was he wasn't a regular at that point because he was a young guy. He only became a force later on, but I thought I could sneak him in because he was still in the 03 squad.
Okay, using the theory.
But I have a lot. Theory. Yeah, but the Fabregas I want to put in is the Fabregas that matured much later after that year, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the one that threw the pizza, huh?
I think the one that threw the pizza was great. At least he had the ball to throw the pizza at Ferguson. No? How many people had the chance to do that? And then on the left and the right, I have Perez and actually, you know what? My other guy wouldn't fit, Sanchez. But yeah, because Sanchez is out. Okay, then that's fine. Then I can keep in because I was struggling between, I think Perez, Vieira, Fabregas for me was straightforward. The other guy I was struggling between Alexis, Ljungberg, and Overmars. But if I had to pick one, I would go with Overmars. So I'll put Overmars on the left and Perez on the right.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And
up front.
Yeah, up front.
Correct. Up front, I think there's no doubt.
No brainer.
No brainer.
Okay. Tun, your front three. This will be interesting.
Yeah, I will go for obviously Henry, Bergkamp, and Lundberg.
Lundberg, all right.
Yeah.
No place for Ian Wright in both your squads.
Oh,
No,
don't do this to
Anelka.
me.
he was with Wenger, I think, for just one season.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, he was not in the Wenger team actually.
Not the best of times for him in that time.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I know, but Wright is one of my greatest. Yeah, one of my greatest players. So it was hard to leave him out. But again, same reason why I had Cashley Cole. I think if I wanted a dominant team, it was hard to find anyone that's better than Henry and Bergkamp. Even if I look at the current squad, like Aubameyang can't come close to any of these two players.
Yeah, I get that.
Different class.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we've reached the end of the show. You've heard the guys' best 11. They've shared their memories. I think from their thoughts, their memories, I think it's been rosy memories from those days. Reminiscing about good times for Arsenal. You know, it's easy nowadays. I think a lot of people easily slamming Arsenal, and I find it a bit unfortunate as well that something like the Arsenal TV is making a lot of headway and being very popular, riding on Arsenal's negative streak right now. But it's the sign of the times, right, guys? That's how it is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We had lost the the family ties of the Arsenal fans and the players and the club. We lost it somewhere after Wenger left.
Yeah.
Wenger had brought a very close ties between the supporters, the players, and the club itself, with his style of managing the club. So basically, for me, it's a big loss for Arsenal with Arsene Wenger gone. It's somewhat similar to Manchester United when Ferguson left. I think these two people are the pinnacle point of the English Premier League in their time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, obviously, growing up at that stage, you hate United as much. But again, like I say, going back, huge amounts of respect for Sir Alex and what he did. You can't doubt it, right? I mean, you can say what you meant. You can say what you want as a fan, as an emotion, but as a footballing fan in general, I think he was just a great individual. Like Ferguson versus Wenger just took the Premier League, I believe, to a different level. And now you have
now they're best of friends.
Now you have like whiners like Jose Mourinho coming in and just like doing their own stuff. It's just not required. But to your point about Arsenal fan TV, it's a bit unfortunate. I agree. I think like I do watch a bit of Arsenal fan TV. Like I believe. So I think two sides of the coin. I think as a fan you have your opinion, and as an Arsenal fan who watch that glory days, who watched Invincible, and then we moved to the Emirates Stadium and we were promised all these great things, and then to see the club just do such a steady decline year on year with nothing. And then you have owners who are billionaires, but apparently still borrowing money from the local government and to support a club. I mean, it's just frustrating to see. And you see stories like Gunnosaurus being fired and rehired. Obviously, the whole Ozil situation doesn't work. I think there's a lot of factors that is just causing disharmony and friends, because I mean, friends all have their opinions, right? Ultimately, when the club is winning, I think it adds a nice gloss over it that everyone is just celebrating her. But when the club is losing, everyone's trying to point fingers, find faults, and I think that's when the toxic level gets up and gets a bit ugly, and it's quite unfortunate. I maybe disagree with some of the strong feelings that comes from AFTV, but I think some of the points that come across, if we take it objectively, are valid. And really, at the end of the fans are just asking the board and the management what's going on, right? Like, we are part of the club. Let us know what's happening, and give us the truth, basically. Like, why is Ozil not playing? Right? Why do you bring Saliba over and then suddenly he doesn't get into the squad?
Yep.
Like what's happening? Why is Willian there every other game? But I think we're going into a whole
Different show, that one,
different
yeah.
thing. But different show, that one. Yeah. Okay. Correct. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for taking your time out to speak with me. Do share this with your respective fan clubs, your members, your friends, your family. Do share this episode with them. Anyone listening in, please feel free to share it with anyone who might be interested or who'd love reminiscing about the old times. And you can always get in touch with us if you want to speak about any topic from the 90s and 2000s. You want to reminisce about something, always get in touch with me. We'll speak about something or the other. We always can have a topic to talk about. So it's me signing out now. Back Pass with Ras, episode 2. It's over. We'll be back soon with episode 3. Goodbye, guys. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Yes.
Take care.